this video, I'm going to talk about intonation and specifically intonation, how it works on the saxophone. All right, there are going to be a few parts to this video. I'm going to explain what intonation actually is. I'm going to explain how to find your specific intonation chart and such on your saxophone. And then I'm going to give you 2 exercises to practice intonation. One for practicing it on your own, and one so that you can practice as if it was a group setting. Intonation in music is everything, and here's what it means. Number 1, intonation is how in tune you are, specifically with yourself, with your instrument. On every saxophone, you're actually going to find that each note plays a little bit differently. You're going to want to map out your own personal saxophone and figure out how yours plays so that you can adjust to that. But there's also intonation in how you play in a group setting. You want to think about how you're mixing, blending, and harmonizing, matching pitch with other people around you. And there are a couple different ways that we can practice this. The first step for intonation on the saxophone is finding out your own personal intonation on the sax. As I said earlier, each saxophone is actually unique in how it plays its notes and everything. Obviously, the fingers are all going to be the same, but the pitches is they're just slightly different. So the first thing you want to do is take out your sax and warm up for a good 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure the horn and yourself are fully warm, your embouchure, your air is flowing good, your fingers are warm, your sax is feeling warm. And then the next step is going to be to play a note and make sure that it's completely in tune. Now, the note that we're going to use is B. B on any saxophone. For me, that's concert A. For alto sax and E-flat pitched instruments, it's something a little bit different, but we're going to do B on any saxophone. You want to play that note to a tuner, and you want to make sure that that note gets in tune. So what you want to do is, if you're sharp, you want to pull out a little bit. If you're flat, you want to push in a little bit. Figure out how to get that specific note in tune, and you're going to go from there. Now, using the same tuner that you just used to make sure that your B is in tune, what you want to do is play every single note on the saxophone. You can start at any point. You can start bottom to top to bottom, middle to top to middle to bottom. However you want to do it, doesn't matter. But start with playing every single note to that tuner, and what you want to do is just play it how you would normally play that note, like the same relaxed way that you were just playing that B, play those other notes. And look at the tuner while you're playing. And what you want to do now is write down every single note and how sharp or flat it is, how many cents sharp or flat. It could be like 5 cents sharp, 5 cents flat. You'll see that on the tuner. It'll display that. And now you have your chart. And this is your intonation chart for your saxophone. This is how you know which notes on your specific saxophone while you or yourself are playing it are going to sound a little bit different, a little bit out of tune. And you're going to be able to use that information. You're going to be able to use that information to really dig in and be able to think ahead of time before you're playing a note. Say it's a high B. A high B is a little bit sharper than your regular B. So you think, okay, well, I got to adjust for that. I got to loosen my jaw a little bit and play that, bring it down a little bit so it plays the same tone, the same pitch in tune. So now you know how every single note plays on your saxophone. So what you want to do now is a little exercise to make sure that everything lines up very evenly, not just when you're playing the notes individually, but when you're playing them next to other notes. So how do you do this exercise? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 notes that are a chromatic step apart. So let's take A and B flat, and we'll do it in the upper register. And what you want to do is you want to start on the lower note or the higher note. It doesn't matter, whichever one is more comfortable. And you want to play that note. And you're looking at your tuner the whole time. You're playing that note in tune. You want to make sure that you're playing that note in tune. And then when you are, you go up to the next half step. And you play that note for a long amount of time. Make sure that it stays in tune. Watch your tuner. Up and down the entire saxophone. Take as long as you need. Go from note to note. Make sure that it's very specific with your tuner. I wasn't taking too much time to make sure mine were super specific, more just letting you know about how long you should make sure you're playing the notes. All right, I've got one more exercise for you, so just bear with me. I know I'm not very good at these videos yet, but we're making them work. This last exercise is about playing in a group. Okay, well, how are you supposed to play in a group if you're practicing alone? this is what you do. How do you practice playing in tune when you're all alone? You look up a drone. If you don't know what a drone is, it's just a single note played for a very, very long amount of time. And what you want to do during this drone is you want to play the note that is both being droned, match that pitch, go up, go down, hear how it changes, how it warbles, it goes whoa, 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 when you're doing that. And then when you can hear that, you are comfortable playing and adjusting your pitch to the tone. Try playing some other notes, see how they sound with that, see how those sound against a different note. All right, so I'm going to use a concert B-flat drone, and that is my C if you're playing a B-flat instrument, which is a trumpet, tenor sax, soprano sax. You're going to be playing a B-flat instrument, which you're playing your C to this B-flat drone, but obviously make it whatever you need to. You can change the note up too. It's another important thing. Make sure that you change the note around as you're practicing so that you can have practice with different keys and such. That's how you can practice by yourself playing in a group setting. Music is all about the community. It's all about listening to other people around you. It's not just about knowing your own stuff. You got to know your own stuff, but you also got to be able to adapt, listen, change, do what you need to do to really bring that groove out. And that's all for this video. Thanks